Matrix once again. I'm Pastor Bob 2.0 from That's Not My God, and here's what I want to talk about just for a couple minutes is a little thing I called the God Grudge. Now, how many times have you heard the verse from other Christians or heard the saying or sang the song from Psalms 118:24 that says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." Now, if you're like me, you have lived out that verse plenty of times. You sing the song, you've read the verse, you've had it on your t-shirt, anything goes. But it's funny because the very same book of the Bible is David. He's known as the first Christian blues singer. For instance, in Psalms 112, 1-2 says, "Help, Lord, for no one is faithful anymore. Those who are loyal have vanished from the human race. Everyone lies to their neighbor. They flatter with their lips, but harbor deception in their hearts." Let me talk to you just for a couple minutes and be brutally transparent with you regarding my own life. Now, I've met a lot of people, and so have you, people that are just bitter, angry, ticked off at God. This happened, that happened, on and on it goes. This is not a foreign concept. David, throughout the Psalms, he's been down that road before, and he lets the Lord know exactly what he means. One of my favorite clips is from the movie The Apostle, and he is basically playing a preacher that has fallen, and he has it out with God, just letting God have it up in his bedroom. And I think that point there is so good because I think we've all been there. Now, the question is, do we live there or do we move past it? And I think if we move past it, we are going to be there again. This is the roller coaster of life. We have the times when we love God and we say, "This is the day that the Lord has made." We even do the little song, "This is a day." Oh, okay, I'll stop there. But we also have these times where we're like David, and it's like, "God, am I the only one? Or are you even there? Are you listening anymore?" We all have our excuses. The problem is when we live in that area. Fact of the matter is that I've been dubbed the name Saint Sunshine by friends, and if you follow me on Facebook, yeah, I got a lot of positive things to say. But I would like to examine for a little bit. I have every reason in the world not to pursue my relationship with God or to have a woe is me life or to be depressed 24/7. How can that be? Because people ask me all the time, what do you do to stay cheerful? What do you do to stay up on things? How is it that you're always cheerful? Well, number one, you got to choose, okay? Do you want to stay in the woe is me party or do you want to move on? I choose to move on. This is life. This is how it's going to be. Got to move on. Now, what am I talking about as to where I possibly could be a depressed person where, and live in that? Depression's real. I'm not downplaying that one single bit. Depression's real. Depression is something that everybody's dealt with. I've gone through some deep depression in my life, but we choose not to stay there. Well, number one, I was born and raised in a Christian home. That's not the bad thing. But I tell you what, as a kid, one of the things you've always wanted to hear from your parents, or especially if you're a boy from your dad, is the words, "I love you." Never heard it from my dad before. Now, we always say the cliche things, oh, he showed it through his actions, he showed it through, providing. Yeah, that's great, and I do appreciate that, but there's still a part of me in this 38-year-old body, 6'4", 230-pound guy, that would love to hear from my dad the words, "I love you." So, do I go into a depression? Do I go into bitterness towards God because I don't hear "I love you" from my dad? No. There's still that void there, but at the same time, guess what? You got to move on. How about another thing? I was in a lot of sports back in high school, believe it or not. Not so much high school, but junior high, elementary school. I was in soccer for many years, played fullback and halfback. And 18 years old and up, till I was about 30, I was in a softball league every Monday night, and guess what? My mom never came. Now, I know that sounds goofy, but we look at that, and these are the things that people hold on to. These are the things that people hold on to. My mom never supported me, and I guess I could say that, but there were so many other ways she did support me and told me she loved me, and I know I'm her baby boy. But nonetheless, it would have been nice to have been supported. Do I hang out there? No, not really, because at the end of the day, it was just a ball game, I guess, and we can move on and find support somewhere else. Here's the big area that I am oftentimes wondering if I should be mad at God about, but I've chosen to let it go. My wife, she's a neonatal ICU nurse. Okay, she works with premature babies. Me, I'm dedicating babies all the time. I read in Scripture, be fruitful and multiply. Guess what? We have not been able to have a baby of our own. Naturally, that is. We have two great kids. Emma, 3 years old. James, 4 years old. We adopted them. We got James when he was 9 months. Emma right from the hospital. But picture this. Those of you ladies that are watching that may have had your own babies, you've gotten to go through that whole period of time where 9 months, and then you get to see what your own genetic baby looks like, and who has more looks, and who the baby looks more like and stuff. We don't have that. What most people have 9 months to prepare for, we had 2 weeks. And then get this, 4 months later, we ended up having our second kid, James's biological sister. So within 4 months, 4.5 months, we went from a family of 2 to 4. Now, do I sit back and say, God, where in the world are you? I'm so ticked. I'm so bitter. On and on it goes. Is there even a God? Well, I've had those bouts of depression. I've had those bouts and thoughts and things, but I don't live in that camp. God, are you even there? Because if I look back at my life over and over again, I've seen that God is real. It would be something that I couldn't just do, is just leave God. It couldn't be something that I just have a grudge towards God about. We all have our excuses, don't we? I have plenty of excuses as to why I should have a grudge towards God, but I choose to forgive the one who's forgiven me, and we move on. Maybe you're dealing with grudges today towards God. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to live there, or are you going to move on? You can email me your thoughts and questions, vtwinrev@thatsnotmygod.com. Go to thatsnotmygod.com or visit us and join in the conversation on facebook.com/thatsnotmygod. Hey, we'll talk to you later.